Hey everyone, and welcome. Think about the last time you were at an airport. It's this huge, bustling place, right? A massive machine designed to get you from the curb all the way up into the clouds. But have you ever stopped to think about how it actually works? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to go behind the scenes and show you the hidden world of the airport, and I promise your next trip will feel completely different. All right, let's jump right in with the mystery. I'm willing to bet you've looked out the airplane window and wondered this yourself. You see those giant numbers painted on the runway? What are they for? Well, they're not random, not at all. It's actually a super clever, simple code. And stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll be able to read it like a pro. Okay, so to really get what an airport is, we can't just start at the departure gate. We've got to zoom out. Because an airport is way, way more than just a big building with some planes parked outside. It's this sprawling, complex facility, and every single piece has a job to do. And really, it all boils down to this. The number one job of an airport is to get airplanes off the ground and back down again, safely. That's it. Everything else you see, the fancy shops, the food courts, even those long security lines, it all exists to serve that one single, absolutely critical mission. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Every airport on the planet is basically split into two totally different worlds. There's the world you and I can just walk into off the street, and then there's the other side, the restricted zone. And believe me, the line between them is non-negotiable. So the official names for these two worlds are landside and airside. Think of landside as, everything on the land before you hit security. It's totally public. The parking lots, the check-in counters, the baggage claim, that's all landside. But the second you clear security, boom, you're airside. That's the secure zone. That's where the runways are, where the planes are, where all the real action happens. A really easy way to picture this is to think of a theater. Landside is the front of house. It's the lobby where everyone hangs out, gets their tickets. But airside, that's backstage. That's where the magic happens, where the crew is working, and where you're not allowed to go unless you have a pass. It's the operational heart of the whole show. All right, let's head inside the terminal now. This is the part of the airport we all know best, right? But what's fascinating is that this one building is trying to do two completely different things at the same time. And on one hand, let's be honest, airports are basically giant shopping malls these days. I mean, think about it. The restaurants, the high-end stores, the duty-free, it's a massive part of the business model, all designed for the millions of people like us just passing through. But then, you get to the security line. And this is so much more than just a place to take your shoes off. This is the hard border. It's the single most important dividing line in the entire airport. When you walk through that scanner, you are physically leaving the public world of landside and stepping into the secure, restricted world of airside. And this is how they maintain that border. It's this whole system of technology and procedures, like a gauntlet you have to pass through. X-ray machines, metal detectors, explosive scanners, all of it has just one goal: making absolutely sure nothing and no one dangerous gets near an airplane. It's all about creating that safe bubble for the flight. So once you're on the other side, you're in what's officially called the sterile area. Now, it's not sterile because it's squeaky clean. It's sterile because the population has been, sterilized. It's controlled. Only people who have been screened are allowed in, and that concept is absolutely fundamental to the safety of the entire system. Okay, so we're officially airside now. Let's imagine we're walking out towards the airfield, to the absolute heart of the operation. We're talking about the most important strip of pavement in the whole place: the runway. This is where every journey begins and ends. Yeah, the definition sounds simple enough, right? A place for planes to take off and land. But the reality is, it's anything but simple. The way a runway is designed, where it's pointing, all the markings on it, it's a total masterpiece of engineering. And it's all dictated by things like the wind and the Earth's magnetic field. All right, here we go. It's time to solve that mystery we started with. Those giant numbers painted on the tarmac. What in the world do they mean? So let's say you're sitting on the plane, looking out the window, and you see a big 36 painted on the asphalt. What's your first guess? Is it runway number 36? Maybe it has something to do with the length, a secret code for the pilots. What could it be? Get ready for this, because it's so simple, it's brilliant. That number, it's just a compass heading. It tells the pilot the exact direction the runway is pointing based on a 360-degree compass. How cool is that? Okay, let me show you how it works. A compass has 360 degrees, right? So if a runway is pointing straight north, that's a heading of 360 degrees. All they do is take that number and drop the last zero. So 360 becomes 36. That's it. Runway 36 points north. And it works all the way around the compass. A runway pointing east is 90 degrees, so it's runway 09. Pointing west, that's 270 degrees, so it's runway 27. See, once you know the trick, it's so easy.
But knowing the direction is just one piece of the puzzle. The other big piece is distance. And what's really wild is that the physical length of the runway you can see with your eyes, that's not the whole story. There are all these invisible lines and calculated distances that pilots have to know for every single takeoff.
So that one strip of concrete is actually thought of as 4 different operational lengths. They're called declared distances. And it's not just about how long the pavement is, it's about how much room a pilot actually has to work with depending on what they're doing. It's all about planning for every possibility, like a normal takeoff or one that has to be suddenly aborted. And here's what they're called. You've got TORA, which is basically just the length of the pavement itself. Then there's TOTA, which includes any extra clear space at the end of the runway. Now, ASDA is super important. That's the accelerate stop distance. It's the calculation that proves a pilot can get up to speed and still have enough room to slam on the brakes and stop if they have to. And finally, LDA is simply the landing distance available. Every single flight is planned using these exact numbers to guarantee safety. Okay, so let's put our new airport decoder ring together. What have we learned? Number 1, every airport has 2 faces, the public land side and the secure air side. Number 2, those huge runway numbers, they're just compass directions in disguise. And number 3, every takeoff and landing depends on a set of invisible, carefully calculated distances. It's so much more than what you see. So, next time you fly, I want you to look around. You're not just going to see crowds and planes anymore. You're going to see the line between landside and airside. When you're taxiing, you'll be able to look at the runway number and know which direction you're headed. You'll have a whole new appreciation for the incredible, invisible system that makes it all work. The hidden world of the airport is now in plain sight for you.